On Straight Talk today, I'm pleased to welcome Greg Cabot. He's the Sales and Marketing Manager with Ameripolish. Welcome, Greg. I hope you're doing well today.
I am. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you. We're going to talk about some interesting technical expertise. But before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about Ameripolish? Because we're going to get into concrete maintenance, but why Ameripolish?
Ameripolish is a pioneer, so to speak, in the polished concrete industry. We introduced penetrating dye back in 2005 to the concrete polishing world. And since then, we built a system of products to surround that dye, everything from concrete curing agents all the way up to maintenance systems, which is obviously going to be the topic of discussion here today.
That it is. So, our topic today, to set it up, proper maintenance of concrete, with an interesting spin on some misconceptions of polished concrete care and maintenance. So I look forward to this episode. And Greg, to be honest with you, when I think of concrete, I think of a hard surface that's durable. No maintenance surface. No maintenance, just it's done. What do you say to that?
That's a very common thought process. And actually, in the beginning of polished concrete, it was actually sold that way. It was sold, and for that exact reason, people think of concrete, they think hard surface, you can do anything to it, it's going to be fine. One of the things that ends up happening when we polish concrete, we remove the cap, and concrete on a microscopic level looks like a sponge. It's extremely absorbent. And so there's a process of chemicals that need to be introduced to the surface, and then stain protection that needs to be added at later times to protect it from staining or any type of contaminants. So I would say to your question is it's not a no maintenance floor, it's a low maintenance floor. And actually, when we get into the how to maintain it, it actually is the lowest cost to maintain, but it needs to be done correctly.
Well, that's interesting. Looks like a sponge up close. I've never looked that close, but I believe you. And I guess that
Yeah,
makes sense that every surface is absorbent to some degree. Yeah.
right.
So good information. My next question is about applying coatings to concrete, because I think if you have a
Sure.
floor, it's maybe a natural thing to put something on it to protect it.
Right.
Can you strip and wax concrete? Does that apply here?
No, you cannot strip and wax concrete. And obviously, you could, but it would not be the proper way to maintain concrete. And coatings in general, when we talk about coatings, there's things like epoxy coatings that is very commonplace in garage settings and kitchens. And there's a time and a place for coatings, but concrete's a breathable surface. So any coating, including stripping and waxing, that you apply to the surface eventually will peel or delaminate or need to be stripped and recoated. So using concrete as a breathable surface is the best way to make it long-term sustainable. So products to introduce to it in stain protection, the stain protection added needs to be also a breathable product, which stripping and waxing is not. Um, and I could get into kind of some of the issues with strip waxing. I think the main thing is that for the floor owner, it has a wear pattern. It's costly. So as the foot traffic comes in the door, you start to see a very obvious wear pattern, and that doesn't look good. And then it is very costly to bring somebody in there once every so often. I think around $2 a square foot to strip and reapply the wax, when you could be spending significantly less on routine maintenance to have that floor aesthetic that you really want. And the other things that come with stripping and waxing is coefficient of friction goes down, so it's actually more slippery of a surface because the wax is filling the void in the concrete, making it have less traction when the rubber of your shoe meets the potential liquid on the floor, whether it's raining or whether there's a spill. So there's different methods that are more centric to the polished concrete industry with the stain protection that is offered in the polishing process that carries over into maintenance and is more pro there.
Okay, makes sense. So if we're not going to put wax or finish on the concrete, what do you do with it?
Sure. Fantastic question. The best recommendation I can provide is to use a penetrating sealer. The product that we offer in that category is our SR2 stain resistor. It's a product that penetrates the surface of the concrete. It lays the concrete pore structure like a Teflon and protects the concrete slab from within. So what's unique about it is it doesn't provide any aesthetic quality. So when you put a wax on a floor, it gives it this great big shine, which a lot of people, you look at that, you think, oh, that's great. And the problem there with wax is it's not sustainable. With the SR2 penetrating sealer, it doesn't provide any aesthetic qualities. It actually relies entirely on the polish or the diamond abrasives that were introduced during the polishing process to have the sheen that you're looking for. And then in turn, because there's not a coating on the surface, it relies on the pad selection for maintenance to actually maintain that shine and aesthetic. So it protects the floor significantly better than traditional sacrificial coatings, because a sacrificial coating gets a stain on it, and then what needs to be done, you have to take the coating off and reapply it. With the SR2 or other penetrating stain guards that are out there, is you can actually refine the surface of the concrete using the correct maintenance system to either pull those stains or etches out and continue with your routine daily process.
Okay. I'm sure those watching this that do concrete maintenance are taking notes, because it sounds like there's definitely a right way to do it and some incorrect ways that could cause more trouble. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about cleaning products a little bit,
Sure.
Greg.
Yeah.
Many talk about how neutral pH cleaners are good on everything.
Right.
Just use neutral.
Sure.
How does that fit into this discussion?
So when cleaners are introduced to concrete, when they basically, as soon as the cleaner meets the concrete surface, the pH of them actually change. And so a lot of even cleaners that are actually pH neutral, when they touch the surface of the concrete, there's a chemical reaction happening there with the cream and the aggregates that are on the surface. So potentially could swing it in one direction or the other in terms of pH. So what people should look for cleaners of the floor is generally, and this is something that I say a lot, is whatever stain protection is on the floor. In the case where I was talking about our SR2 earlier, I think the best course of action is to reach out to the manufacturer of that product. In our case, the SR2, we would recommend to maintain with our rejuvenating cleaner, which is specifically designed for polished concrete. And so to avoid any confusion, I always like to recommend a full system approach, that being with stain protection and maintenance, whoever the manufacturer is of that stain protection, which the polished contractor could advise, or if there's a building service contractor that's introducing a regular stain protection to that floor, they can tell you what they're using, get in contact with that manufacturer, and they'll tell you what cleaner is best to maintain that product.
Last question. Some may say that polished concrete maintenance is complicated, it's costly, it's technical, so they might shy away from it.
Sure.
What would you say to that?
I would say that that's not the case. It seems intimidating because it may be unfamiliar to some, and it definitely goes in a different direction as pertaining to traditional methods. But once you learn about it, it's very simple. Really, it comes down to correct cleaner and correct pad selection for your auto scrubber daily maintenance. Correct pad selection for me is easy. Our Smart Floor daily maintenance system is specifically designed for polished concrete. It comes in a very easy color-coded process. There's really only two steps, one for stain remediation, the other is for everything else, daily maintenance on a regular basis. And then we have our cleaner that's provided as well, recommended on all concrete surfaces. Once you get that out of the way, it's really just comes down to executing the daily maintenance system on a regular basis. Outside of that, there's not a lot of complications. You run into your stains, which can be remediated relatively easy, provided that the correct stain protection is on the floor and that you're doing your routine maintenance. And it was kind of something we laugh about, but we joke that a lot of times someone will say, hey, the maintenance system isn't working. Well, it really comes down to two things. It's you're not executing it properly, or you're not doing it at all. And that's really the scope for when things go sideways. Of course, there's always exceptions to those rules, but 99% of the time, that's what happens. And I think once people really get familiar with the process, they love it because it doesn't require a skilled labor. You can bring somebody in, very simple process. Even if they're new to the cleaning industry, you set them up with the right pad, put them behind an auto scrubber, and they're off to the races.
Okay, a race to a nice clean floor that's durable and it serves its purpose. Well, Greg, great information today on polished concrete floor maintenance. I think the industry will value this. Any concluding thoughts or advice to the industry?
My concluding thoughts would be if you guys have any questions surrounding polished concrete maintenance, restoration, or anything like that, Ameripolish is available for consultation. We'll help support you through that process, teach you about it, and hopefully get you going in the right direction where more people feel comfortable with concrete.